Okay, once you get a desktop version with a GUI of Ubuntu installed, you're going to notice probably that you cannot get it to operate in full screen mode. Like if you maximize your window with your virtual machine running in, you'll notice that it's very small, and whenever you log on with whatever your password that you set it to be, you'll notice that it doesn't take up the full screen, and it's going to be difficult to operate your operating system whenever it's not full screen. So what you do is you log in and you give it a chance to boot up and get into full screen mode, and you'll still notice that it's still at a minimal version of the operating system, and you can't see the full screen, so that can tend to be a problem. So VirtualBox is really good. What you can do is you can install a disk to actually install some versions of the software and some drivers that allow it to go into full screen mode. So what you do is you click on the devices menu and you insert the guest edition CD image, and you give it a second or two to load up, and it will boot up with the autoloader, and you just click run. And you'll need to enter your root password, which will be provided. You'll either be provided with that if you imported an image to VirtualBox, or if you installed it yourself, you'll know what the password is. So I'll just enter my password here, and it'll start the installation for the guest. And the guest editions will basically allow you to operate the VirtualBox machine in full mode, and you'll be able to maximize it, and it'll take up your whole screen, and it'll feel more interactive, and it'll seem like you're actually on that operating system alone, and not really inside of a Windows machine. So if you install the guest editions and you boot it up, put it in full screen mode, it'll seem like you're really logged in and operating on a Linux or Ubuntu machine. So we'll just give it a minute or two to load up. So I just let it sit, and I stepped away for a minute, and now it came back after installing, and it says please return to close this window, and that it's installing the graphic libraries, and I will click return to continue and close the window. And what I'll need to do is, for the changes to take effect, I'll need to reboot the machine. So basically the way I do it, I just do close and power off, click OK, and it's shut down, and then I'll click the start button again to restart it, and hopefully when we restart it this time it will be booted up, and when we log in it'll be in full screen mode, and it will seem just like we're logged into an Ubuntu desktop and not really on a Windows machine logged in inside of an Ubuntu machine. So while it's booting, it'll seem a little smaller, but no worries, we'll be good in just a couple seconds. And it just went into full screen mode, and it seems just like we're logged into an Ubuntu machine natively. And I'll log in with the correct password finally, and everything will load up. And that's how you install and get Ubuntu working in a virtual machine in full screen mode. It's taking a little while to load. It seems like the VirtualBox guest editions are still installed, so if you log in and the guest editions are still installed, if you look down here onto the right, you can see your CD that's in there, and you can see that the guest edition CD it thinks that it's installed in the virtual drive, so I'll just basically remove it and force the unmount, and we're logged inside just like we would be in a normal Ubuntu machine. And we can hit Control-Alt-T, bring up our terminal, see where we are, get our directory structure, make directories, and we're good to go and do what we want. Thanks.